Hey guys, I'm going to do another video here. It's another par 3 for the Tour 11. I'm surprised to see this guy using Guardian. Almost nobody on this tour is using this club. You see he's going with 2 bars of topspin. I kind of recommend adding topspin if you're going to go with if you're going to go with Guardian here. I'm surprised that he's taken this approach. I think he's making this shot a little bit harder than it has to. So the ideal shot here is your Apocalypse. So he just hit that full everything. Really had to aim a lot more perfect than that to even get it there. What I tend to do when it's into the wind is I'll switch over to my Apocalypse and use like 3 bars of backspin, which Apocalypse 4 users don't have that. So it's a little unnecessary. It just changes kind of the angle. Like you could land it a little bit shorter and use 2 bars and still be okay. But what you'll see me do on this is you'll see I am going to pull off 1 here, because it being straight into the wind, it's going to want to short play. So you see kind of where I have my arrow set up, and then I'm just going to play it kind of towards the center, and then I'm going to curl it some too, probably about a half bar. I'll probably go, I'm probably going like 6 bars there for an 11, and then I'm going to curl it some too, really utilize this slope. Try to hit a perfect ball. I got it. It should be relatively good in terms of landing zone. And then you see it go up there, and it's going to come down. It looks like I just might have went just a little bit long. It's going to be a little right. But that's kind of what you're aiming for, is to take the slope like that and have it just trickle down like that. So that's the approach with the driver only, that you're going to be able to do that shot. With your 3-wood, which you saw him do, he ended up trying to go full ball there. He made it a little bit harder by doing that, because as you saw, my shot was very straightforward, super easy. You just have to hit a perfect or a great ball. You saw where I played it, which was about maybe like six rings of the circle there. So if you're looking at your circle, that's 5 rings. And then I went just a little click for a little bit extra, which put it at about 6 rings for that win there. And you saw it almost landed essentially where I put my bullseye originally. So in terms of aim, I pretty much nailed it. You saw how much curl I did, which was about half a bar, or half of my max, probably about 50. Like a rough estimate would be if I had a club that was 50 curl, that would probably be max curl. So it's probably about 50 curl there for that shot. And then you saw that I also put the full right side spin on that. So if you had a Kingsmaker on and you wanted to do it with 6 bars, which is like the full side spin, well then you would just take off a little bit extra of that extra curl that you do, and you wouldn't have had to curl it barely anything. You would have just had to do like a little, just like half ball adjustment, which would just move it like right outside that ring, about halfway, not very much, outside that shot circle. The other way to play that hole, which we didn't get to see, I end up aiming very similarly, except it's a little bit down in the fairway a little bit more. And I usually do about 1 bar of backspin. 1 bar of backspin with a Cataclysm or a Sniper, whatever. What's nice if you're using Sniper on that hole is the shot trail almost shows you everything. A little unnecessary. If you can figure out where where your ball is going to kind of stop. So my Cataclysm is to the point where it's at 3.9 or something ball trail. So you'll be able to still see a lot of basically where the ball's going to essentially stop. You just won't see the rollout. So if you can just kind of guesstimate the way it's going to roll out, I would say for the most part, Sniper does have a small advantage on me on that hole. But I still prefer Cataclysm for basically the rest of that tour entirely. That's basically the only hole that I think Sniper has me on, is that the hole we just played. Because they can just, basically see their entire full shot. If they have a Sniper 10, it'll show it, rolling down the hill, everything. And where mine, it basically only shows to where it's about to stop, and then I got to anticipate the way that it's going to run down the hill. So what you'll see how I'll play it, if I was going to play it, I'd play, so you'll see some shadows on that, like some tree shadows in the fairway, and I kind of try to aim towards those shadows a little bit. But again, you're going to want to, either take off or add, depending on if it's downwind, into the wind. You're going to want to add like 2 bars, plus or minus. So for example, if I got straight downwind there, I might do 2 bars of backspin, at least. I might even go to 3. And so one of the things that you just saw with my Apocalypse, the longer you land it up that fairway, the better off you are. If you can get your Sniper, for example, or Cataclysm, or Big Dog, those are the only 3 that I would recommend using. I don't recommend Guardian at all on this tour. I would stay clear that guy is one of the only guys using that club. There is no advantage to using Guardian on Tour 11. You just don't need it. There's no shot that's going to bail you out of. So I would not use Guardian. And no matter which 3 you have there, out of like Big Dog, Cataclysm, or Sniper, the longer you land it on that fairway, the better off you are. Now, it might not be an easier shot, but if you can land it farther and backspin it more, it's going to take that, what it does is it takes away that bunker on the right there, to where you could curl it more around and not land it in that bunker. So you can restrict. So if it's way downwind, like 13 downwind, for example, well, I could basically try to land it up where I just did with my Apocalypse, and then just basically do like a curl shot to make it and curl and backspin to make it just kind of die on that hill the exact same way. And that's ideal, because any other way, when you're landing it shorter, which we didn't get to see because it was into the wind, if it's downwind or sidewind, it's a 3-wood. But so if you can't land it as far as I just did, which most of the time you can't, you're going to have to basically guess how much it's going to run up that hill. And sometimes if you miss your target by 2 yards, it's the difference between taking that slope and even seeing what that guy just did. So if he would have got another like 4 yards of topspin, he would have actually curled that slope a little bit better, and it would have actually ran to the hole. And the reason that he didn't get that is because he just didn't have enough power on it. So it's like, but his miss wasn't really a lot. He just needed to get it up that hill more, and then it starts to curl right more. So realistically on that hole,